Hey YouTube, so I'm back today with another video. Today I'm gonna be talking about astrology. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the difference between tropical and sidereal. Today we follow tropical, but a few others follow sidereal. I'm just be talking about the difference between those. And yeah, what is astrology? Astrology is, from the Google definition, it's the influence of celestial bodies on your life. So, well, the belief of celestial bodies influencing your life, such as stars or planets, etc., etc. Me personally, I believe in astrology because my cycle alone, it follows the moon cycle. You know, they work together in their ways. And during my time of the month, I realized certain things pertaining to the constellations that we are in. That's just me personally. I could be crazy, but I don't think so, but whatever. Astrology came from Babylon 2,400 years ago. Well, that's the earliest tracings they have of it as far as artifacts and stuff go. Other ancient civilizations was like Egypt. They was ahead of the ball game with a lot of stuff, so I'm not surprised. Greece and Rome, that was kind of after they had took over Egypt, and you know, Rome copied off Greece. Europe was a little after Greece and Rome. The Mayans, they was off doing their own thing, but they had calendar systems worked out already, so yeah, I'm not surprised by that either. And then they had the Chinese, and then the Indian with Vedic astrology, etc., etc. So they say the Babylonians, they used astrology to predict the weather, political reasons, to know when to harvest crops, to know when to plant crops, to know when to fish, and things of that sort. So pretty much the mundane things in life, along with the Egyptians. They also read and interpreted the celestial signs in form of omens, or omens. I say omens. Omens are just a way to predict the future, and it makes sense. Like, if you correspond a certain season, you know, with like the weather patterns, and you happen to experience that same thing around that time the following year, you might be able to predict some things. So there are 12 zodiac signs, well, 12 zodiac signs in tropical astrology. There are 13 in sidereal astrology. So please excuse any background noise that you may hear. People are being obnoxious. So 12 signs would be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So, and the 13th sign for the sidereal would include the sign Ophiuchus, or Ophiuchus, and that would be between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So the zodiac signs, the constellations, they follow the elliptical, or the elliptic, which is the rotation of the earth around the sun. I'm gonna take these headphones and my little lash glue, and I'm gonna just give a little demonstration. So say this is the sun, say this is the earth on its axis, right? Once a year, the earth goes around the sun, just like so forth, What astrology does, or the view of astrology is, as the earth rotates on its elliptic or elliptical, let's say it's placed right here, right? The sun would be in front of a certain sign. I'm not exactly sure in front or behind. I want to say in front of, but if this is me right here, right? This me, my little finger. and I'm looking at the sun, and it's like a whole constellation right here. This would be like Capricorn or something, right? So this is Capricorn and the sun right here. The sun would be considered in Capricorn. But that's why the certain planets and the sun and the moon would be in a certain sign, because it depends on our position and our perspective. Keep that in mind. It's all about perspective. When they say things are in retrograde, if this is like the sun and this is like Mercury, it's a certain time period where it'll go around the sun and it looks like it's going back, but really it's looping around like this, and then it keeps going. That's retrograde. But from where we are, say y'all is Earth, when it goes like this and it loops around, it looks like it's going backwards. That's why Mercury would be kind of crazy as far as like technology, communication. Some people, they can't really talk properly around that time. That's why it's our perception of it. The 13th sign, Ophiuchus, is known as the serpent bearer. So the serpent bearer, when I heard that, I instantly started thinking of Kundalini. Kundalini is like your sacral energy that goes up your spine, if you believe in it, you know, dealing with chakras and stuff. And I instantly thought of, okay, if that's like a serpent bearer, maybe that could symbolize one mastering their sacral energy, or mastering their chakras, or just mastering themselves in some way, shape, or form. I also think it has to do with the story of Adam and Eve. You know how in the Bible, Eve kind of let the serpent deceive her, but you know, in this case, Ophiuchus, she handling business. She not letting the snake deceive her. She's taking control of the situation. Ophiuchus was known as Imhotep, and Imhotep is the father of medicine. It has to do with natural healing, and it makes sense as to why it would be a serpent bearer. It's kind of like mastering the self, so it goes hand in hand. It corresponds. This book I bought from Ezekiel Brumfield. It's by Ezekiel Brumfield. It's called Decoding the Matrix, and I suggest you all get it. It goes more in depth about Ophiuchus and how it affects us as a collective, and if you're into astrology. And he went in detail about how Ophiuchus was originally a woman, and that the Romans ended up changing it from a woman to a man and then got rid of it. And it makes sense because the Romans hated women. They did all type of stuff to disrespect women and degrade women, and it would make sense why they would first change it into a man and then just get rid of the sign overall, and it threw everything off whack, right? I'm about to get just a little deep, just a little bit. So, as you know, your brain has two parts. The right side, I can't remember clearly, but I do believe the right side is corresponding with the creative side, and then the left side is corresponding with your logical side, right? Everybody has masculine and feminine sides of themselves. Your logical side will be considered your masculine side. The logical side is for dealing with your outward living. So when it comes to finding security for yourself, going to get a job, thinking situations through, you know, just walking, just logical things, right? Your creative side, your divine feminine side, that would be more corresponding to your spiritual side, so your inner world. as opposed to the outer world. So who you truly are outside of this human life, and you know, your purpose, your conscious, etc., etc. Well, today being a patriarchal society, it kind of strays us away from those feminine aspects of ourselves. And I feel like that's where a lot of feminists go wrong. You know, feminists trying to conform to the masculine way of doing things, you know, trying to do those things instead of embracing the feminine side. I feel like it's definitely a key in astrology and overall life. And I feel like we need to incorporate it more because that's how the stars is going right now. So I'm gonna leave a couple links in the description box so y'all can see sky maps. If you just Google sky maps, search it up, then you will be able to see where we are as far as like the different constellations, what other planets are in constellations, so on and so forth. And you will see that we are currently in Capricorn. Today is January 21st, and we are in Capricorn season. Even though everybody thinks it's Aquarius, it's not. It's Capricorn. So our government system, maybe it was a coincidence. I think not. But if you look at the date, January 20th, that is around the time where Capricorn season starts. January 18th, January 19th, it varies depending on the year. But for it to be on January 20th, it makes sense because it's starting the Capricorn season. And Capricorn is all about discipline, structure, systems, just setting. It's the serious sign. It's about work. So it makes sense as to why it would be at the very beginning of Capricorn season. And also with, what do they call that day? Vote day? November 4th. So that's the day where like they decide who's gonna be the president, right? Well, on that day, that will be in Libra season. So Libra season, if you look at the stars, is from October 31st to November 22nd. So it's kind of like within that first week of Libra season. And it makes sense because Libra is known for justice. It's known for balance. It's known for socializing. And it would make sense as to why they would choose, or the general public would choose, who is president. See the correspondence? And a lot of popular brands start around like certain times of the year. They're founded in certain times of the year. And this book goes in depth with it. He was giving so many examples. I was like, whoa. Like, you cannot tell me that's not intentional. That's a good book. Y'all should get it. I would give the full list, but I don't think y'all want to hear me say all the full lists. But just know Capricorn season goes from January 19th to February 15th this year. So it changes sometimes too, because the elliptic or the elliptical is always shifting. That's why some of the dates are kind of off from when astrology was first being introduced thousands of years ago. It's because the universe is always changing. You know, we always changing. Yeah. So it's not always going to be a specific day. It's not always going to be a specific time. And the calendar that we follow, it was made not too long ago. So it's kind of like suspect, like, you know what I mean? Getting into birth charts. So your birth chart would be the chart that it represents you. And some people might say it predicts who you are, but I think it just points out a lot of key factors about you. So I'm gonna do myself as an example. Your birth chart consists of the planets, the sun, the moon, and houses, and also some other areas. I'm gonna get into that in another video. So your sun sign is what everybody knows. It's the day you're born and when the sun was in that sign. So if I say we in Capricorn season now, a person born on this day, the sun would be Capricorn, and that's the sign they would go with. But the moon could be in another sign. The moon could be in like Taurus. Yeah, just like how I was giving a demonstration with the sun, same thing will apply to the moon and the other planets. So if their moon is in that sign, it kind of varies on what parts of themselves show more than the other. That's why I don't think it's like too hard or too difficult to understand. Like, it could be accurate, or it is accurate, because every sign, I mean, every chart is different, you know. Nobody has like the same identical chart, or if they do, then it's like 1 in a million. Back to mine. My sun is in Leo, and that means I was born September 1st, so that's where the sun was. And some qualities about myself that relate to Leo is I'm a fun person. I like to have fun. I'm not, well, I'll be feeling myself sometime. Well, I'll take that back. I'll be feeling myself a lot. I didn't used to at first, but I kind of like grew into it. Leos are known for being sassy. I could be a little sassy, you know. Y'all might notice it, but yeah. Leos are also known for their creativity, and I am very creative. I like to immerse myself in the arts in all different types of forms and fashions. Yeah. That's a general synopsis of my sun sign. My moon sign is Virgo, so I like to be alone a lot, but I don't mind socializing. You know, I'll have a ball socializing with people. Virgos are a little OCD. They like to organize a lot. And it's funny because, like, I'm not messy, but I like things in a certain order. Let me just say that. Virgos like things in a certain order. And that is me. I like things in a certain order, for sure. It could be anything. Like, I need this over there, even though the room messy, this over there, this over there, this over there. Virgos are also, I guess they're kind of shy. They're more closed off inwards. And that's where I was for a long time. And then I started, you know, breaking out of that. Virgos are very critical. I find myself being critical and judgmental, but I'm changing it. You know, these past couple of months I've been working on that for sure. And yeah, that's a general synopsis of Virgos. Virgos are also creative too. And it makes sense because they're right next to each other, Leo and Virgo. If you have a certain sign in Western astrology and you're like, wait a minute, so I'm not that sign, what the heck? Like, have I been lying to myself this whole time? Not necessarily. If your sign did change in sidereal astrology, then you probably have a lot of those similarities with the corresponding or the sign next to it. So I have a lot of people around me who they would consider themselves as Cancer according to Western astrology, but they're Geminis in sidereal astrology. And some evidence for me would be that they all talk a lot. So Geminis are the talkative sign. They talk a lot, and it makes sense because Gemini has the ruling planet of Mercury. Mercury is known for communication, as I was saying before, with like Mercury retrograde. So they talk forever and ever and ever, talk about any and everything. And that's what I love about them, you know. They can just talk about anything and go in depth on it, you know. That's what I love about them. But my North Node is Gemini, so I think that's why I have a lot of Geminis around me. My mom is a Gemini. One of my best friends is a Gemini. My auntie is a Gemini. My boyfriend's mom is a Gemini. Yeah. And all four of them talk a lot. but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Houses. So on a birth chart, they have houses, and I believe they are corresponding to the elliptical being divided into 30 degrees, kind of like how I was referring to the calendar system, right? I still need to get more familiar with that part, honestly, but I read minds and it's very accurate. So yeah, it's only 12 houses, and each house corresponds with like the Western astrology signs. So I mean, they both got the same signs, it's just missing Ophiuchus. But yeah, so the first house would be Aries, and that's focused more on self. And the second one would be, I forgot, but it's something to do with Taurus. I know the fourth one with Cancer is focused around the home life of family. I know Libra, the seventh one, would be focused around relationships, so on and so forth. My houses, they kind of correspond with it. So I think it got some accuracy to it. I still gotta read on it. I might do another video on that. But yeah, that's astrology in a nutshell. I'm gonna go definitely more in depth with it with other videos, but if you didn't know what astrology was, now you know. And I'm gonna also leave a link to a specific website I use to find my birth chart, so you can also use yours. You will need your name, your birth date, and your birth time, and the location of your birth. So like whatever hospital or house you were born in, try to find the longitude and latitude of it, and you should be able to. Or you can just find a city. I think they have an option for like just the city you're born in, and you should be able to find it and learn things about yourself. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. I'm gonna have another one coming out soon. If y'all like me talking about astrology, let me know, and I'm gonna definitely make some more about astrology. So yeah, I hope I see y'all soon. Stay tuned.